Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Such a great pleasure to talk to you again. I got so much to go over here, and so we had a cancellation this morning, so I'm going to take the next hour and a half, maybe the next hour and 15 minutes, and try to catch up here. So forgive me if I go too fast. I'm trying not to. I want I want to catch up here, but I've got so much to go over. Maybe Friday I can come in here and finish these up because next week I'm going to going to get some mountain air going. And I'm kind of a little Native American freak in a way, and I like to get up to Gatlinburg and Cherokee and uh, and get sucre. I mean, you guys are asking a great questions here, and let me start going over them. I want to first thank Magic MJK for this beautiful, beautiful dissertation on love and magic and just the beauty of life. She has tremendous drawings about the celebration of life, blockages to spirituality and health. And she comes up with a big love here. Just really hand done, just a real beautiful thing here. So thank you, sweetheart, very much. I love everything like that. I'm a collector of art in that way from all you guys. So let me go down the line here and cover some of these things. I'm an old paper freak. I know one of you recommended computer electronic stuff, and like, I'm not very good with that. I've had enough radiation in my life here to do me for a lifetime, and I know there's ways to augment that, but I give a lot of trees back, boy. Do I plant a lot and make sure a lot's given, and we recycle everything so everything is good, and I do like to keep a collection of these things, but let me go over some things here. This one this morning I want to go over from Monica. Monica, honey, yeah, I mean, you're on a great fast. This craving of salty stuff and salad, obviously the craving of salt is an adrenal gland issue. And look how this is tied, sweetheart. Look at this is tied to. After she has a salad, I eat it. I feel discomfort in my kidneys. And below the stomach, which is going to be the small bowel. Her legs get swollen. So right there tells you, I don't know how old you are, but I can tell you that, you've got kidney and adrenals. This is right in your face, sweetheart. You got to take care of this. Whether you use a tincture on the adrenal glands, if your blood pressure is low, the good adrenal tincture, or glandulars, it's up to you. Kidneys, you want to really do probably 2 kidney formulas, get on that lymph system, clean up the GI tract here. You're doing great with the diet here, fasting on fruit and everything. Pick up those adrenals and the salt cravings will go away. If you have it's crazy, get a little Celtic salt or something and put on your fruit. I mean, I hate to say that, but I'd rather see you go after your adrenal glands. But whatever you can do to keep yourself, while you're moving yourself down this road, that would be important for you to do here. Someone asked me a question. Once you see sediment in your urine, will you always see sediment in your urine? Well, think about this. If your kidneys are your eliminative organs of cellular waste, wouldn't you or shouldn't you predominantly see it all the time? Absolutely. Absolutely. Once you start seeing it, you want to keep on seeing it. There's going to be 1 or 2 urines you might not see much. It just depends on the waxing and waning of the human body. But I can tell you that important. I'm always looking. Oh, I'm not filtering. So I find that very important. So once you open that door, hopefully that door stays open. You're good. And then you'll notice the lymphatics things. Another person asked me about isolates. There's not isolates in herbs. I consider isolates, be honest with you, a little different. I'm a little different chemist in the thinking. I consider an isolate something that is isolated by itself and not in a magnetic bond. I don't see anything in a plant that's not magnetically bonded. So, it's just the way I look at it, sweetheart. But thank you for your stuff here. You're a sweetheart. I know you love the herbs too. Go after that Latin. I'll just keep it at that. But yeah, and also inorganic and organic. You know, I have my own take on it. And I think it's better if we separate that and we look at organic. I want to look at organic like non-isolates. I want to look at organic as a magnetically bonded food, synergistically bonded, all the chemistries put together as God made it. When you start isolating and the more elemental, then you're going to see me get more inorganic in my thinking. Organic would be the whole of the chemistry put together, the more isolated and elemental. And I don't know where you would draw that line, because it's kind of like, where do you draw the line between amino acids and proteins? You know, a more complex structure of amino acids are called proteins, but you have all levels of those. You know, it's just like you have all levels of acids, you have all levels of alkalis or bases. So, you know, but that's why you can tear it up all you can in the mind, not worth it, you know, because it's this is just fundamentally ridiculous, even in the thinking processes, because, I mean, I think humans are so bored, particularly living at this level. It's just something to do. That's a think and to plan. Someone made the comment about me putting the mind in the corner. Well, I just mean separate yourself from your mind. You know, you want to know something, then just direct your mind to find it. You know, I actually just let it happen in the moment, and then it brings it. My mind knows when to go look for it. I mean, the mind is the creator of creation, so it's an incredible machine, so huge in its capacities, and you don't really have to think about anything. You really don't have to use the lower aspects of the mind. This is a question asked me from Chad about the subject of marijuana, and I have covered that. You know, some people need, and you see this, and I find this is a sad thing in this country, that people are in jail for drugs. I think this is the worst thing we've done, and I think it's related to our suit and ties and some aspects of Christianity, where we're just so constipated in our thinking that we lack love, we lack understanding, we lack higher consciousness. And if we don't break loose, it will break us loose. And that's the thing. And I think this is what you're going to see in 2012, you know, the shaking of the consciousness, because, man, have we got constipated. And it doesn't seem like it's getting much better. But not that, you know, Lion Man, not that I care. I love what you're saying, Lion Man. Let me tell you, I can tell you this. My attitude is one where I separate myself from creation. And if anyone has ever saw the movie Michael with John Travolta, I can tell you that's kind of where I'm at, in a sense. And I loved whoever directed or even wrote that movie, because I thought it was incredible. From the viewpoint is that as an individual spark of the all, knowing that you're the all, but at the same time working with that individuality of it, it makes you, of course, love all things. And it makes you know all things, in the sense that you see all things as the one. And so that's obvious. And you saw that in Michael, the lover of God and the supreme being, even though he knew he was in an individualized form of it. At the same time, it was to fight the bull, or it was to blow up the bank. Didn't care. It was the attitude behind this that's the issue here. Sometimes you see me a little passionate about things, but there's the other side of me doesn't care, because I know karma. I know it will be handled, so I don't care. But can I blow up a bank? If it was hurting a bunch of people, yes. Could I take care of things? Absolutely. I don't care. I'm not a Gandhi type guy. I believe in action without action, in the sense that I don't believe in being over passive. I believe that's why you're here, is to create action. And so I like that. I like when Michael blew up the bank. I like when Michael fought the bull and didn't care, laughed about it. That was it. You know, because creation doesn't exist in sense other than just a dream. So we get to too caught up in things. And as long as you always know who you are, you can play the dream and not get attached to the dream, because you can't isolate yourself from the dream. That wouldn't be what God meant for itself anyway, is it? So anyway, going back to marijuana, I believe it's a plant that is essential for man to use. I think the way we use it is toxic. I had an old black preacher man in here from Detroit, Michigan, who was from Jamaica originally, and he was telling me that they make it into a tea, the smarter Jamaicans, because they know smoke is toxic. And I thought that was pretty good, you know. So the thing is that man has always sought to alter his consciousness because society likes to freeze it. Society controls your consciousness, so it can become the herd. It's how it thinks it protects itself by creating like-mindedness, and therefore it can become more protective in a social consciousness kind of way. So you have to be careful with the social consciousness, because it is very restrictive and it is very conditioning to the mind and emotions. So our belief systems are honed by governments and religions and things, and the problem is that it restricts our freedom to understand more of who we are and more ourselves as individuals. And of course, individuality isn't looked on real well in society. Our current government really doesn't like individuality as much. You can tell they're more socialistic thinkers. And that's not the supreme being. If you look through creation, it exudes individuality, and the beauty of creation is individuality. The connecting link isn't society, isn't governments, isn't towns, it's God. And so we all should be able to go hug anyone from any country, and they vice versa from what, like you, all you guys on YouTube. I feel we're in a group hug. You know, once in a while someone will say something, yeah, but we're all in a group hug. And I love that, because that's what this planet needs. But again, it's illusion, it's a dream, it doesn't really exist, but it reaches deeper than the external life. It reaches into your very consciousness and hooks you to God when you have that consciousness of one and love and union. And so it's like the social consciousness, but through the individual. Interesting. But yeah, I think the outlawing of marijuana, I don't think anybody has the right to outlaw herbs. I think if you take an herb and it doesn't set you well, that's your gig. This idea of passing laws to restrict man from enjoying nature is just part of how the negative side of duality controls and isolates. Doesn't want you to have an altered state of consciousness, because that would affect the social consciousness. Instead of helping people, Portugal helps people that are on drugs. They have parks and they help people. And this country has a hard time understanding love and helping people. But yes, I mean, look at Timothy Leary. I was an old Timothy Leary fan, and look at Ram Dass, Albert. I mean, he's great wisdom. Be here now guy. I mean, that was the cliche of the time, and still rings true. There's nothing greater than in the moment. So yeah, I wish that this government would we would terminate it and start again, and make it a constitutional government of extreme limitation, to where individuals and states control their own, which that's their legal right. This government is so intrusive. It wants to control everything, including the buying of insurance and everything. And it's like that. That's a monster that we could never afford to allow happen in the terms of even spirituality, you know, because the next thing to go would be spirituality. That will be attacked as well. So yeah, great plan. I think one should tincture it. So yeah, great plan. I think one should tincture it. I think it is slowly developing toward the letting go of the outlawing of it. I mean, I see states changing rapidly. A lot of medical doctors use it. Me, I don't, but I have. But I enjoy I think things are stepping stones because the ultimate right is your consciousness. You don't need anything to be it. You are it. So you don't need any external stimuli. You know, only when you're down and you're dragging sometimes something to just alter your consciousness is kind of the way we are. And so some people are so lost. Even my son, he says, I just hate to be alone. I said, that's what you need, is to be alone. Spend some time understanding who you are. And yes, I love green mucus. I love black mucus too, man. Okay. I'm going to have to look this up because sometimes you're asking me words I have never heard of. Some of these medical doctors come up with these bizarre names for symptoms that just get me. This is why they're left out there, because I don't even waste my time. I mean, I don't waste my time because my clients, they don't get it either. I used to be, I wanted to retire a few years ago, and I took on a naturopath, and I wanted her, well, she is a naturopathist, I guess, and I wanted her to, take over my practice. And she was so intellectual that one of my clients came up to me one day, and he said, I can understand a thing she said. Right then, I terminated and said, you know what? You're not going to do here, because I pride myself on communication, on making sure they understand what's going on, and then you'll have success. Talking over their heads only serves to bolster your ego and doesn't do anything for connecting and helping that individual. And so this is what medical doctors do. They don't care. So, and I find that ridiculous. I don't find anything savvy about that, so I'll look that up for you. That was Kelly. Simplicity 165, fruits plus herbs equals expanded consciousness. Good, Steve. Good. Absolutely, man. Steve, I love you, bro. You're something else, man. I really do. Dr. Morris, how can I clean my colon? Would it be, you know what? You do everything at once. And I've said this before. When you go after your detoxification, don't play around. Don't take this herb for this and this herb for that. Or you'll go, well, this isn't working. You hit it. You go after it like a monster after a food or something. You really go after it like you're wearing the robe. You go after the bowels. If you go everything synergistically, everything at the same time, your body wakes right up. You're moving the bowels, you're moving the kidneys, you're turning on the glands, you're moving the lymph. The body's just going, whoa, whoa, whoa. And that force, that power that you're moving into that body, the body just wakes it up. I find it's the only way. Some people can only afford so much, and I understand that. Those of you that are real tight with your monies, use the tea, the Heal All tea. And even talk to Jennifer once. She'll make you a deal on it. But this is a Heal All tea. Somebody was selling this tea online, and she said, I got this tea from God. And it was our Heal All tea, and she took everything I had said on my website and put it on her website, and she charged $135 for this box of tea. And I just left a little message and said, I hope you enjoy our tea. Because that's ridiculous, I want everybody to use the herbs. I want everybody to make their herbs. I don't care. But don't overcharge for it. I mean, that's insanity. That to me, that tells you right where it's at, especially if you use God in the same verbiage as you overcharge. That wasn't cool. But the teas are the best way and I like that Heal All tea because that's why I called it that. They got a lot of herbs in there for a lot of things. So really powerful tea. A lot of people have used it and cleaned the cancer out of their bodies in terms of the acids out and been able to regenerate cells, because that tea I made to regenerate atypical cells in the vaginal area of women. And cervical cancer, uterine cancer, colorectal cancer, mouth cancers. So it's just a great, powerful tea for cleaning and healing. And sometimes you can just afford the teas. I'll tell you this, I'll promise you this, that one day we'll have some people that decide to donate to a fund for giving people herbs. I do have a foundation, and it's a health awareness foundation. I've never really used it because I never had anybody want to donate. I'd rather have someone handle that myself. I don't want to handle anything like that. But and I've had only one famous producer ask if he could donate. And as many famous people as I have, it's a shame. they don't want to help others get well. This is the top of the mountain in helping somebody. There's nothing else out there. If you don't have your health, you don't have nothing. So it's I will get these funds up so people that don't have any money that are on disability, I will help you. I'll always help you free in my consults, but I can't. We have to keep our doors open, so we do help all we can. Yeah, a video addressing dandruff. Very important question too, because dandruff, what is dandruff? Let me see. It comes out of what? The skin, right? Now, what's the skin? The skin is the body's third kidney. So when you have dandruff, that means you're not draining your lymph system. And if you're consuming milk and dairy products, this exacerbates this like crazy because you're clogging your head for more mucus and more mucus. One day the mucus can get so packed in there, people scream with pain and pressure. Oh no, let's don't go there. This is the hard drive. You don't mess with the hard drive. So when you start to see dandruff coming out, that's serious in terms of lymph drainage problems. Anything can take off from there. That shows your lymph's backed up in the brain. That can go anywhere from the simple cataracts to macular D, all the way to brain lesions, brain cancers, memory, loss of smell and taste and hearing. I mean, the list is long. Teeth, everything. So when you see expression on the skin, whether it's dandruff, eczema, or psoriasis, that's telling you right there your kidneys, your two main kidneys, ain't doing it. And that's real important that you address that and take a look at what you're eating, because this idea of milk and raw milk, even the FDA is overstepping itself, and the government just, claiming they have rights over our food sources just make me want to puke. But in one way, this disposing of the raw milk and cheeses, the joke's on them, because this is not good food for anybody. Nobody should be doing milk after they're weaned. You don't see it in nature anywhere, and when we do it, it just super clogs the human body. So you just, if you're going to drink milk, drink human milk. No one's going to do that. I mean, let's get real. Let's eat our fruits, and berries and melons. Oh, Karen, hi, sweetheart. My BP in both arms is staying at 100/60. The kidneys are up and running again. Good girl, man. Now to get that lymph moving. Still wearing the robe. Go, Karen, go. Good job, sweetheart. You know what? You're the one with the little dog baby cakes. I know you called into Jennifer upset, and I don't blame you. All I can tell you is that you can still detoxify dogs and help them even if they're eating some meat. We're just saying if you can get them to eat vegetables, that's a good thing. Their coats do better. A lot of show dogs are vegetarian dogs. Their skin does better. Their coats do better. However, you've got a sick little fella here, and when you're having seizures like this, you want to use the antispasmodic, and you're kind of probably want to use it, off and on through the day. But that's just to strengthen the nervous system and keep him from seizing. Also, you want to look at dosages of herbs. You really don't want to use but a few drops on a small dog. You wouldn't use much. So, depending upon the weight, a 4-pound dog, you'd probably only have about 4, 5, 6 drops, I would think. You wouldn't have much. Working with them and detoxifying them. But detoxification can also cause seizures. So you have to, that's why the antispasmodic, you work with that concurrently with that. You had made some statement that we told you to come off the medications or something. No one around here knows that, but we only tell people to come off medications when they're, depending upon what they're on. The only 3 actually you have to think about is like Dilantin or anti-seizure medication. You got to be doing something to naturally to counter that, like an antispasmodic. A lot of people are on Dilantin coming in here. Well, they get on the antispasmodic, and as they work themselves more in a healthy state, they shuck the Dilantin. And then they're good. And then after a while, they can shuck the antispasmodic, and they're good because you're in a curative mode here. And so I don't know what's all wrong with baby cakes there, but little bitty chihuahua, huh? But it's just something you have to work this back to health. Blood pressure medication, you use it when your blood pressure is real high. If not, you'd be crazy to use anything you don't need. And then the other thing is insulin. Most people get off of insulin real quick because you can't, it's easy to control blood sugars on the road to curing it, and it's easy to lower your blood pressure. So I don't know what to tell you. I hope, sweetheart, that your baby cakes is good. Keep working with them, but you can use the herbs real gentle with that dog. You don't have to go crazy. A little lymphatic, a little kidney, a little antispasmodic, kick the adrenals up. Probably wouldn't hurt to do a little parathyroid, little glandular, give him a little nutrition there and meat, but it will kick up his calcium utilization, because that is calcium utilization can be involved in cramping and seizures and things like this. So I hope he's okay, sweetheart. We do. We would never try to give any advice that would be counterproductive to anything. But life's tough out there. I'm telling you, there's a lot of sick animals, a lot of sick people, and they're not just a little sick. They're a lot of sick. And this is our problem, where the genetics even in the animals are taking its toll. So we've got some tremendous work to do. So you can't get upset about it. You just got to roll up your sleeves and learn all you can and do your best. Dogs are, there's a lady named Joy. I probably will put her information here. She wants to work with animals. She's been trained that way. She's worked with all her animals with herbs and diet, and she's listening on the YouTube. So Joy, Karen could use your help there on this dog. But she was taught that most dogs do have kidney failures, kidney weakness in them. This is just part of understanding canine health at all breeds, and I agree, and especially those that leak from the eyes, really a lot of kidney weakness there. They don't have the sweat glands we do, so their eyes and the tongue, the mouth, So we're breeding, we're inbreeding, we're breeding, we're doing all kinds of things, and so it's like plants, We have a lot of hybrids out there, and each generation is always weaker unless you maintain some integrity. Now, this was a question asked me about bladder and prostate cancer. Well, luckily, that's at the door right there, but the same thing applies to all cancers. 99% of all cancers are lymphomas. Don't get fooled with the word cancer, because it's the medical profession's way of pulling in a lot of money. Look right now at the American Cancer Society. Everybody's wearing pink, and everybody's donating a lot of money. Who to? We're still researching how to cure it. This is the insanity of this thing. It's already very curable. We've been doing this for years in terms of what the causative factors are. We don't consider diseases at all in our clinic. We're health oriented. So when you consider diseases and you lose your perception and your knowingness of truth, well, then you're at the hands of all these people that use fear and take your money and give it to all the same people, and all these people just get wealthier and wealthier down the road. Well, luckily, that's at the door right there. But the same thing applies to all cancers. 99% of all cancers are lymphomas. Don't get fooled with the word cancer, because it's the medical profession's way of pulling in a lot of money. Look right now at the American Cancer Society. Everybody's wearing pink, and everybody's donating a lot of money. Who to? We're still researching how to cure it. You know, this is the insanity of this thing. It's already very curable. We've been doing this for years in terms of what the causative factors are. We don't consider diseases at all in our clinic. We're health oriented. So when you consider diseases and you lose your perception and your knowingness of truth, well, then you're at the hands of all these people that use fear and take your money and give it to all the same people, and all these people just get wealthier and wealthier down the road. And just amazing that this stuff's still going on, and people are blinded at this. That I can tell you, it's better than ever before than what it used to be. But a lot of people are curing themselves of cancer now and all these other problems, even away from us. But I can tell you here that in our health programs, people that go through it, 90-some% of them don't have cancer anymore. I don't know. In terms of cells, remember, cancer is just a damaged cell. It isn't a disease. It comes around and grabs you. Mutation of the cell can cause all kinds of issues, but damage to these cells, and of course that's what you replicate. So going after any type of disorder or condition, or what medical doctors like to call diseases, which is ridiculous, anything like that deals with the cells and the two fluids, because that's all the body is. We got to lose this idea of pathogens, or this idea of bacteria and things, even though there are some aggressive bacteria, don't get me wrong. You don't lose that totally, but you don't use antibiotics. There's too many great herbal antibiotics that don't disturb the nest, and this is real important. At the same time, you understand what are they after, and that is we have weakened our cells, we have lymph toxicity like no other, and wherever you have toxicity, you're going to culture microorganisms. That's the nature of nature. So, you know, we have to learn that. Now, bladder cancer and kidney cancer, same way. You're going to use the kidney formulas. You're going to use, I'd use lymphatic 4 for a while, very astringent on the kidneys. I would use lymphatic 1 capsules, go after the colon. Remember the adrenal gland connection there? Same way you're going to go after liver cancer as you're going to go after kidney or prostate or bladder cancer or lung cancer, except in some of these you're going to use the lung formula to break up sputum or hardened mucus, masses, and tumors. You're still going to use the lymphatic formulas. You're still going to get the kidneys going. And some cancers like lung, you're going to hawk up some nasty, gnarly stuff. Okay, that's good. You know, when you see this nasty stuff come out, you appreciate it, because it's like, that was in me? Yuck. You know? So that used to keep me going. I used to say, how deep can I dig, and what do I think I have in me that couldn't be too good? So bladder cancer, kidney cancer, all the same thing, man. And fruits, berries, and melons, big time. You're right there at the door. So this is the same thing with cysts on the kidneys or on the bladder. I don't care where they are. Same problem. Same problem. Lymph, 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 lymph. Same thing with polyovarian syndrome. Same thing, same thing. You know, it's just a different story, different location. Or should I say, same story, different location. This one was from ABS Abstract. This is myalgia and exhaustion. I read that myalgia is a sign of an underlying issue of something serious, a viral. We're going to be attacked by viruses. They're all over the place. How can we live in a world of viruses? Yeah, I know. It's that same crap that it's an autoimmune problem, too. I love that kind of crap that's out there. So what is muscle soreness and stiffness and tightness? What could that be? Let's see, guys. You're going to have to help her out, because I'm telling you. Let's see here. Well, we've got a bunch of cells. We've got the blood flowing around them. We've got the lymphatic fluids flowing around them, which predominates that interstitial fluids. Let's see. And the lymph deals with acids, and acids, of course, cause all the pain and swelling. Must be your lymph system, sweetheart. You've got to get your lymph system going. Get your kidneys, get your adrenal, and don't get frustrated. You guys that have a lot of this kind of stuff, fibromyalgia and stuff like this, fibrocystic problems and stuff, hang in there, guys. You're getting it. Okay, don't get too frustrated. It takes time to unwind. You know, this isn't a medical consciousness here. Take this aspirin, take this pill, and you're good. Take this supplement, you'll be good. There's no such thing. This is a process to unwind this. So hang up there, don't get disturbed, get your kidneys working, get your adrenals up, and give you more steroids. It'll definitely help with the pain, but also move those limbs, because until you do, you can't stop the pain. You can't spray WD-40 on everything. That was funny. Those people, I mean, then they started tasting it. Of course they started tasting it. Oh, man. So really, work on your lymphatic system big time. Pop up your adrenals. See, your adrenals, you're exhausted. You're neurologically fatigued. Well, why wouldn't you be? Your lymph system isn't working. Your adrenals are down. Your kidneys are down. And it's backing up this gigantic lymph system of yours. So don't get upset. You might want to stay away from the acid fruits. Stay away from the cruciferouses. Will help you out just like you would in RA or something. You'll stay away from that and you'll be okay. You can send me a blood analysis if you want, but it doesn't matter. This is simple, easy to understand what you're doing. And you're on weeks 3 and 4. Keep going. I would do a kit, though. I would do Lymphatic 1 capsules, stomach and bowel, whatever you needed. I would do a Lymphatic 4 for a while, then jump up to Lymphatic 3. I would definitely do the adrenals, tincture or glandular. You know, definitely do 2 kidneys there. Might do the Parasite M for a while, you know, just to kill off fungus so you don't get a lot more uric acid coming at you. So I'll definitely kill the fungus in the body. Generally, you see a lot of fungus in these cases. Jeff, Alabama Jeff. Yeah, good man. I'm glad you brought this up about the Klonopin and stuff. Absolutely. You know, that's why I like detoxification, Jeff, because it takes these residues out of the body faster. Because it's just like smoking the weed or anything else. These residues, these are addicting, there's no question. Everything's addicting. You know, fruits are addicting. Medjool dates are addicting. That's a good high. A medjool date high. But, yeah, thanks, guys, for helping Kelly there. You guys are all great. I love you guys are great. Owen, you another great guy here. Good, man. Good work here. Yeah, appreciate your comment here. I get pain in the back of my head. I really need to know what I need to get my lymph system cleaned. Sam, yeah, I mean, I've covered this and we keep covering this subject. And it's probably important that we just keep covering the subject the same way. Keep it simple, my friend. When you're getting pain, you're getting acidosis. And I don't like that when it's in the head area. It means you're not draining down the back. Maybe your axillaries are clogged, your back lymph nodes, your kidneys are definitely not filtering for you. You want to clean up the colon. Always clean up the colon when there's head things. Just remember that, because there's a relationship, particularly from the transverse portion of the colon to the brain. So you clean up the whole gastrointestinal tract. Need it anyway. And then the kidneys and things like this, and you'll start draining that lymph. And once you get that lymph draining, your pain will come out of your head, because you can get real dizzy, equilibrium, if it's from the cerebellum here, things like that. Lymph is a fruit, berry, melon experience. You're always going to hear me say that, and a lot of you are proving that already. Your comments are great to me. It's proving what I see, what Arnold Ehret saw, what a ton of great healers saw. Matter of fact, someone, was it you, Owen? Oh, no, JG. Oh, man, you got a hold of Professor Hotima's stuff. You know, back in the day, I'm sure a lot of older people say that, but back in the day, I loved him. He's the one, George Clements, Professor Hotima, got me into the orange fasting and living on oranges. He was over in Sebring here, and he always conversed with Raymond Bernard. And Raymond Bernard was another one. They're, you know, etheric thinkers, you know, man's higher consciousness. I don't know, they were a cross between metaphysicians, Christianity, and a whole bunch of things. They believed in the Immaculate Conceptions. They believed in the, the union without releasing sperm, the high consciousness. I mean, their stuff is way out there. And but I love way out there stuff because in all things there is some threads of truth. So I like to see where people think because, like I said, I used to write some articles years ago, and that's when I was just super buzzing. I was ungrounded. So was my articles because the average person goes, "Whoa, this is too deep for me." I don't like to get too deep for anybody. It's not worth it. You know, and I like to stay stable. But Professor Hotema, great work. I mean, just reading these great people that focused in on fruitarianism really takes you into a higher level of understanding because they had a higher level of understanding than the people that said eat vegetables. That's just the way it is. Everybody has a different level of understanding, not to knock anybody. But you all are seeing this. I've seen it for 40 years. You don't detoxify with vegetables. You will for a short period of time, and you'll reach a plateau, and that's it. You'll see it with yourself. You'll see it with everybody. And so this is why we kick it up another notch. And a lot of you are writing in showing that and proving that. So, yeah, any type of these writers, there's all kinds. I was talking about that to book company. Oh man, it just went out my mind. But this place was always getting old books. I mean, they used to have the health and the spiritual books, and I mean, they could find books that were written 200 years ago. I mean, they have so, I don't know, their inventory I think has shrunk a little bit, but their inventory, I couldn't even keep up with it. I had a health food store once that had a bigger room than my office, and I had nothing but shelves of spiritual books and health books. And this guy would come in about once a month, buy a whole stack of them, and leave, and then come back buy another whole stack of them. That's what I used to do. I used to buy a stack of them, go out in the woods and read them all, come back, find somebody to hand them all to, and buy another stack of them. I've had probably 3 times my library in my life. But you know what? You can only read so much. After a while, you have to get it. You have to be it. You have to take it on yourself. And I think we've come a long way to a lot of you can already do that without going through the extensive type of work I did in terms of research and reading all these people and really adjusting the way I see life. You're already higher souls coming in here, probably already been adjusted. I had to adjust out of that social consciousness, and I was raised a Christian. I had to shake that off because it limited the way the universe is. So not to be negative to anybody there, but I love all things. And it doesn't matter, but you have to understand that all things are God, and you can't just limit others from experiencing that or accepting the fact that they don't experience it because they don't believe what you believe. Everybody experiences God in their own way. So anyway, yeah, JG, gosh, good stuff, man. I love the fact you're hooked into those books there. Trying to remember the name of that company. I already gave it off in one of my videos, talked about this this place where you can buy books and stuff. But a lot of books. We carry them here. We carry a lot of books here. We carry Hotema's book. Because in my school, I try to bring as much books to the school that people don't have access to in any health food store or any bookstore. I try to bring books to show you the rhythm and the understanding of fruitarianism or even raw foods, you know, because there's a lot of great works. Tilden's work, all these works of people from the natural hygienic people, great works. And it just really helps the consciousness. And it just really helps the consciousness. So get your lymph system moving. Go on a lemon juice fast. Go on a grape fast. Those are the 2 best fasts that I consider is lemons and grapes. But any fruit will do, or even just eat fruit and go on that for a few months. Really detox that lymph, but you got to focus on the kidneys and the bowels too, and the adrenal glands with that. But get that pain out of there, my friend. Oh. You asked me about this Clarity lady. I'm not familiar with the work, to be honest with you. If I am, it's left my consciousness. because I have read and studied so much that some of it's in there, and some of it's got some dusty cobwebs on it. And so I apologize. I just can't access that. You know what? Now we give a certificate when you take the DVD course. It's a nice certificate. I've already showed it to you. I want people to know what they're doing if they're going to use our stuff and be involved in this. I've always thought that, and I have a few osteopathic friends that's been begging me to start a naturopathic school. And I was a member of the original American Naturopathic Association, and I wanted to start that. I don't know what happened with all the original Benedict Lust stuff. One guy had it, and we were going to start it up again, and I find that sad. Benedict Lust, of course, coined naturopathy. It even made the congressional hearings, and it was approved as one of the main healing arts of this country. Oh, how quickly they forget. But naturopathy has been cussed at, abused, and stepped on by a lot of these naturopathic schools, and I just find this just irreprehensible that we've lost that innocence and beauty of true naturopathy, and we've changed it for this isolates and these supplements and these sulfur compounds and these digestive enzymes and this crap like this, and it is a selling product. And people are buying all these products and still walking in with bags of them, suffering because we lost sight of the beauty of simplicity and the beauty of detoxification and that art that is. And we, of course, naturopathy never did take the herbs and clash them together like I've done with it. But I think this has just taken naturopathy to a much higher level. I've always prided myself on preserving the purity of naturopathy. Dr. Jensen and me, we felt real strong with that purity of naturopathy. That's why he didn't want to serve on the board of Southwest or Bastyr, by the way, guys. They're not preserving the purity. It's a treatment-based consciousness again, and that's not naturopathy. And therefore it tangles with the medical association, and therefore tangles with the states. So I don't care. If anyone wants to sit in with me and learn, they're welcome to come sit once in a while in here and observe. I do allow that, you know. People fly in and sit with me all the time. I have, once in a while, I have some good medical friends come. When they do, we'll film us both here. I've been to many naturopaths and lost $7,000 seeking a helpful one. And this is exactly just what I'm talking about right here. Thank you. Now I'm broke and trying to figure out exactly. And she's trying to figure out how to heal her intestinal inflammation. You spent $7,000 from naturopaths and they couldn't help you heal your intestinal inflammation? Oh. Please, man, these guys need to throw in their towel and go drive a truck. I mean, give me a break, sweetheart. Ulcers and hypertension by myself. Now, that gives us a clue, doesn't it? Ulcers. She's ulcerating the gut. Now, could this be from a lack of bicarbonate in the pancreas, not neutralizing hydrochloric acid, and she's getting a hydrochloric acid ulceration? Or does she have interstitial lymphatic constipation? Doesn't matter, you're going to go after her in all ways. If you don't have the camera to see that, is this a female or male? I don't know here. The Puritan. Oh, the Puritan, hey man. You got to move your lymph. You can use the stomach and bowel formulas. They're drawers and pullers. You can use Lymphatic One capsules. They're drawers and pullers. Definitely get the kidneys and adrenals up there. We have a GI broom, a little aggressive, but in terms of moving bowels. And the idea isn't to move someone too much. The idea is don't use laxatives. You don't want to move stool through the body too fast or you'll lose the absorption. That is ridiculous. It still shouldn't look like liquid peanut butter, Richard. So you really want to have, you know, a good stool and good absorption. At the same time, when you're really going after this, you might have a little additional movement. But then we have a GI broom. You want to pull that. We don't know whether you're sulfured up in the GI tract. Real possibility. Those naturopaths should always use iridology. Should be part of the curriculum of a school is iridology, because it gives you a step up. You really can see the human body and understand it in ways that you would not before, and you'll start linking everything, and everything starts making more sense to you, because iridology as a science gives you that umbrella that ties it all together, understanding cells and two fluids and what you have to do to get well. So this is an important case, because if you don't get that intestinal inflammation out, you're getting not only ulceration, but you can get intestinal cancer. So this is a move thy lymph, lymph, lymph. But most naturopaths are not taught about the lymph well nor the kidney connection to it. They're taught the traditional allopathic blood is everything. They're also hypertension. Oh, what could that be? We're back to the kidneys again. See the connection here, guys? Also, he feels malnourished. Well, if we have interstitial lymphatic constipation, Puritan, you are going to be malnourished, because you're going to have malabsorption. You're feeling just what's going on with you right there. You're feeling your body. Will give you the knowledge, man. Get yourself humping on this. Get up on those fruits, berries, and melons. I'd be careful about anything that's abrasive to you. You could use the Heal-All tea or Heal-All capsules if it's too inflamed and you can't tolerate certain things. If you're moving your bowels once a day or twice a day, use stomach and bowel number 1. Nothing in it to move you. Real gentle on you, real healing on the mucosa there. At the same time, the Heal-All capsules, very healing, drawing a little bit on the mucosa. You can use the Heal-All capsules, you can use the Heal-All tea, you can use fresh aloe, or we have aloe vera juice you can buy in here. Fresh aloe is good. Most people have aloe plants, and really go after that. A little drying, though, of the wall, but still great anti-inflammatory material. You would never want to do proteins in this sort of diet or any dairy products like that. That'd be insanity. You definitely want to, and vegetables could be a little coarse on you. You go right back to that fruits, berries, and melons again and super chew, just in case you have some pancreatic issues. Probably wouldn't hurt you to take the pancreatic capsules for about a month or so. Pick up the pancreas. You're saying you're having some insulin resistance. I don't know what you're talking about there. You could, are you type 1 or type 2? You know, they don't even know how to define those two. If you're type 2 and you're having hyper or hypoglycemia, that's your adrenal glands that sits on top of your kidneys. You got to get them anyway. So really start working. You want to see a lot of mucus in your stools. That's the one thing you want to see, is mucus in your stools, because now you know you're moving that. This question was about salt baths. If you're going to use salt, use the Celtic salt, real salt, or Himalayan salt. Those are the full-bodied, robust salts. Has the traces, micro traces in them. So you would do the Celtic, the real, or the Himalayan salt, and do salt baths. Yeah, just like I throw people in the ocean all the time here, especially with psoriasis. It helps with the symptoms because it's alkalizing. Interesting, huh? How can you tell when someone has weak kidneys and adrenals? By looking at them. The eye structure here. You'll see it sunk in, dark, bags under the eyes. You can tell just by the energetic of a person how tired they are, where the fat accumulates around them. You know, the size of the person. You can always tell they're fighting adrenals. Their energetic levels by seeing how they correspond with you, but the eyes have it. Yeah, now let's see here. Are there any other contributing factors that would cause orange to appear in the iris other than sulfa drugs? It could be. I mean, it could be other drugs. I'll be honest with you. We don't really know. But my experience has been most orange is sulfa drugs. And again, you should see those in your stools. You have hazel eyes, they're gradually becoming blue again. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Who is this? Steve. Steve, I thought eyes couldn't change. Yeah, another good soul proving the truth. Steve, I mean, this is the problem with German iridology. It's like, come on, man. But you'll find that you have it, you grasp it, you're in there making that body respond. You're moving your lymph, and you're seeing your eyes change to match. Your eyes will always change to match your what you've accomplished in it. Guaranteed, I can tell you. So here's a good idea. Got some orange streaks and stuff in that left. Could be, I don't know, Steve. I mean, there's just so much out there. There's so much chemicals and radicals. I just don't know. I don't know what to tell you. But in my experience, definitely sulfa drugs are the orange. And one day I'll go over more eyes with you guys, and we'll get in and show you more orange eyes. But they're all over the place, and they suffer the most, lymphatically speaking. Whoever has the sulfur seems to suffer the most from two aspects. Heavy fungal problems, so an increase of uric acid. Also lymph stagnation, more lymphatic problems. So you've done well. Good work, Steve. I mean, really good work. Thompson's myotona, I don't know what that is. Something about chloride ions in the muscle tissue. Mineral deficiencies, electrolyte stuff. You know what, my friend, I don't buy into that level of thinking because my focus is totally different. Because you can't find a remedy going down that road. You can only find a remedy when you start shifting to, how do I make my body healthy at the cellular level? How do I make my body healthy? Well, obviously the one important thing is you shift to the diet that your body's designed to eat. And one look into the world of nature here on this planet shows where the human body is closely related to. And it's definitely the primate family. As an overview, the primate family is not an omnivorish family, although you find some being that. It is a frugivorish family. No one messes around with the orangutans. They have the same problems we do. Location, location, location. When they're in the location where they have access to fruits and vegetables, the fruits go first. When they have access to just vegetables, the vegetables are going down. If they have to kill meat, then they forage. I know one particular primate family is on an island where they have to get shellfish. They can't find anything else. So, yeah, I mean, we're all going to seek food sources, but in reality, our body's designed as frugivores. We don't have anything that matches omnivores, carnivores, or even herbivores. Those three categories, really, we don't fit. There's nothing there. No one. I've argued this the other day with a guy in here. There's nothing fit. Frugivorish. Do we eat omnivorish? Of course we do, but look how sick we are. And it's funny that we eat omnivorish, we're sick as all get out, we have a lot of cancer in us, and when we shift to frugivorish diets, that all goes away. We eat omnivorish, we're sick as all get out, we have a lot of cancer in us, and when we shift to frugivorish diets, that all goes away. Yeah, sounds a little too simple to me. So really, that's what you need to do. Get your lymph moving, get your adrenals up, because that's where you see the chlorides, that's where you see utilization factors. And yes, you could say deficiencies, but I'm going to say utilization problems, because by changing your diet and having a ton of fruits, berries, and melons, having a green drink or two a day, having a big salad a day, you're not deficient in anything. And if you pop a little of our superfood blend or someone's superfood blend, without all the probiotics, digestive enzymes, and other crap in it, and palm scum, then yeah, you're going to have more nutrition than any animal on the planet. Okay, that's handled. Okay, nutrition 101. One day of that, you're good. What is the key here? The lymphatic system. So go after your adrenals, man. Kick that up. You'll see a lot of changes. Move that lymph and muscle tissue, because you're going to burn some of these base chemistries in the body by being too acidic. And that'll change that scenario as well, because you have to consider that factor of what the body uses in an acid medium. And it's whatever it can get a hold of, it'll use. And so you have to look at all that. And then you have to look at what's antagonistic to chlorides. I mean, you have to get in there, and there is so much antagonistic chemistry that you could have consumed that's creating an antagonistic environment. So that's why the only answer truly to vitality and health is to shift to these high magnetic foods that are chemically complete, which is your fruits, berries, melons, and vegetables, especially your dark greens and stuff, and then and then detoxify yourself. Use these herbs, get in there and clean that body out, or use any herbs and get that focus, and you're good. I've never seen anybody fail to cure anything. 15 minutes. It's a slaughterhouse out there, Trader Bond. I like that. It is a slaughterhouse out there. Well, the beauty of the planet is also seen in the light of the killing machine. It's a killing machine out there. Everything kills another, so don't get too upset about animals. Everybody kills everybody on this planet. This is a warring planet, like it or not. You have to shift your attitude. Who cares? I mean, that's the way this is intended. This is one of the lowest consciousness planets out, or realms, shall I say, physical realms out there. I'm sure you can find lower consciousness planets. I've been to a prison once that was even in this realm, and the fear was so overwhelming deep within my beingness that I realized that, man, I ain't doing nothing to hurt another, because whoever has to go to some of these astral prisons, I mean to tell you, these things exist, whether one wants to believe it or not. You can get high up above all these things, and that's good. And that's where I like to live. But in the lower realms here, it can get real intense, and there's some places that some of these judges that have hurt a lot of people, they're going to experience some really heavy-duty things, these souls, and I don't have anything to do with it, but I've been there. And I can tell you some of these places, my fear was like, and I remember I was thrown into this, and the fear in I mean, it was through my beingness, and then someone just pulled me right out. After that, that was the icing on the cake. Oh, you know what, Crystalline Ascension, I love you. Thank you for that comment. I like to consider myself an angelic being. I do everything for the Supreme Being. I don't care about anything else. JG, Hotima, go, go, go. I know. What's the name of that? What's the name of that company that you can order books from? I mean, they're a great company. But I mean, there's some great fruitarian thinkers. Arnold Ehret, Hotima, Raymond Bernard, all kinds of. You got to understand their spiritual sides. You know, back then they were into the Immaculate Conceptions and things like that. There's all kinds of, there were people like we're doing here on video. You had the greats doing it through books against each other. I mean, it was pretty neat. I mean, there's a lot of neat things out there. But historically, you've had historically, you've had fruitarian, natural hygiene, the Dr. Jensen's, which was the raw milks and the whole grains, and then you had Adele Davis's. So you had, historically, you had the naturopathic medicine people, which is the Adele Davis's, in my opinion. I mean, I've had naturopaths tell people they have to eat high-protein diets. You should not be a naturopath. Whoever's a naturopath telling people they need to eat high-protein diets, fold in your bag of tricks and go find something else to do, because you're hurting your patients. And that is not good. I don't care who you are. You'll never find that in the world of naturopathy. And if your school taught that, that school should be discredited. Of course, most of them are not credited anyway. Thank you, Trader Bun. Thank you for that comment for sure. Happy birthday, Drew. Now, you're on a grape fast. 4th day on the grape fast and loving it. Woohoo! Thanks, Brenda. Yeah, I don't know the clarity, like I said, lady. Muscular dystrophy. I did one on this already. So this was a couple. I know that Chris was running late on getting them. When people call off here, they get sick or something, or they just don't want to work a day. Chris has to jump in, so because we run a crew to keep things going. We run a crew where everybody's needed, and so when someone calls off, it throws us back. So sometimes it throws the videos back a couple days. So we apologize to that. But I already did one on MD. But same thing. Same thing. You're going to get into the adrenals. You're going to get into the kidneys. You're going to move those lymphs. You're going to regenerate tissue. But you got to remove the acid medium. Doesn't matter any cofactors that go on, because all that's going to rearrange itself and fix itself. I would also check on the parathyroid gland. Make sure you're utilizing calcium. Get those adrenals up. If you have to, if you check the pituitary out. That's where the eyes are real valuable to see on people, because everybody's different. Even in MDs and all things, everybody's always different. Different weaknesses. Excuse me there. Yeah, we need a health crusade. Hugs to you too there, Mr. B Girl. Thank you, sweetheart. Hugs to you for sure. Writing from Norway, Speedo Trusa. Okay, Norway. I love Norway. Thank you for that. If you don't go back to dead animals, who cares? You know, really, you'll be better off if you never go back to dead animals anyway. Little cool up in your area, but if you can handle that and you can do that, good, go, my friend. Your brother's 50 years old and has Alzheimer's. Here's a 50-year-old with Alzheimer's. 50 years old with Alzheimer's. Now, this is what you're going to see more and more of, and this is a sad thing. Move his limbs. Get up in the head with upper circulation and brain and nerve. Got to do it at all costs. Deworm him, of course, but get up there with upper circ and brain and nerve. Simultaneously, you're going to get into those kidneys of his. You're going to pop up his adrenal glands. You're going to get that lymph moving, clean up his bowels. Because this whole process, the end result of this process, keep in mind the end result of detoxification is regeneration of tissue. That's your end result, is regeneration of tissue. I don't care if it's brain, any part of the autonomic. I don't care if it's the liver, or I don't care what. God didn't throw you in a world where there's only one side of the force. There's two sides of the force here. There's the positive and negative. There's decay and rebuilding. And I like the rebuilding. So we're going to have to do that. Yeah, they've got him pumping full of drugs. Yeah, I know. Probably exacerbating the problem there. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Njaal? Glad. Let me see. But nobody will listen to me. Can you cure him? Oh, absolutely. No, you can cure him. I'll help you. I have money, and I will come with him to America if you believe it's hope. You don't have to come all this way, my friend. Save your money. You can make an appointment on Skype, and I can see you, but I can tell you the condition is well known here. So keep in mind, you're going to get up in that head with upper circulation and brain and nerve. Simultaneously, you're going to be moving lymph big time. It's going to take you a while. It could take you half a year to a year with your brother, but at 50 years old, he should have some good regenerative properties to him. You're going to remove heavy metals, neurotoxins, all these things out of him. So you might have some Humpty Dumptys, cold and flus, needs to drain his sinuses, stuff like this. But get him off of anything but fruits and vegetables. And this is a case where you might find that an all-fruit diet will be better for him, and he'll have more cognizance in a raw food, in a fruitarian diet than even a vegetable diet. You can start out with a vegetable diet, but start working him more to an all-fruitarian diet for a while. Doesn't have to always live on it, but get him past this Alzheimer's issue. This goes for dementia out there. It goes for anything like that. It goes for Bell's palsy. It goes for anything, even spinal cord injuries. It goes for anything. Quads, paras, MS, Parkinson's, Lou Gehrig's. Someone asked me about this chef who recovered from late stage of cancer. Could you address the substance of the question, please? How does the increased amount of sugar from fruits affect the long-term functioning of the spleen and pancreas? You know what? I haven't got a clue. I can only tell you that sugar is carbon, and carbon is needed by every single cell in the body, or you can't get ATP. So I don't know much about this chef. Sugar is the key component to every cell, not a protein. It's a sugar. Carbon is essential. Amino acids are only used for repairs and carriers. adequate amounts, especially as an adult. You don't see even omnivores, most of the adults, unless you get into the lower ground animals, but like even the bears, you look at the diet of a grizzly bear, 65% sage grass, about 14% berries, tubers, and other things, and only 7% meat. And then they generally, when they're going after the meat, they focus on the fat. So really, I mean, the babies get the more amino acids, of course, because they're growing. So I don't know what they're talking about, because every cell in your body requires sugar. JG, let's see, a macrobiotic chef. Okay. Let's just ask in this question about macrobiotics. And when I had a kind of a clinic in Portugal for a few years in Lisbon. I had a great person helping me with interpreting with the Portuguese people, Lucia. Great thing, got trapped in some bad things here, but she's a great gal. And her dad was way up in the church, and so we really did a lot of good work in Portugal. And okay, and so these symposiums that the Portuguese people would have, health symposiums, had all levels of healers there. And they had some of the top, and I've talked about this in another video, they had the top macrobiotic people there. And I swear to God, their skin looked like gray, like they were dead, no vibrancy. And I got to talking to one, and I said, you know, and what was interesting is when they talked, the room was half full the audience was only half full. When I spoke, the room was standing room only. And the reason is I offered hope and vitality. They offered death and decay. Their skin was charcoal. There was no vibrancy to that. Anyone thinks that you can do better on cooked food over raw food, you're wrong. If you use it in a form of balance, okay, but if in a cold weather, I would use the herbal tea, stay raw as possible. Some steamed vegetables, okay, but your predominant food needs to be raw, always, and you won't detoxify. There are people that have helped themselves greatly on this diet. If you were going to compare the macrobiotic to a standard American diet, it's miles down the road, no question, but we're 100 miles down the road from that. It's miles down the road, no question. But we're 100 miles down the road from that. You're on the top diet chain you can be on. In the cold winter, now I have clients all around the world in the cold, and they're doing raw. So you just have to find a way to buffer it. Steamed vegetables, okay. Some cooked soup, vegetable soup's okay. Some warm herbal teas, and everything is good. And I'm going to have to go here. I like to go on with this, JG and all that, but I just don't, I've got to pull off of here. And looky there, I still have a whole bunch to go. I haven't even scratched the surface. That's hard when you're explaining things and tying things in to do this, so I've got a lot here to go over. I will get to them if I have to stay here Friday half a day and do it. Thank you. Got to run. Love you all. Thanks so much for taking your time out to view these videos and learn this high level of healing. You guys, the testimonials are coming in great. Yeah, we have some Humpty Dumpties. Sorry about the little dog. We're going to get that sweet little thing back. Come on, let's work on that. And so everybody have a fun day, okay? Bye-bye. We're going to do, I could add on to this last video we filmed. You'll be getting that here shortly. But I'm going to start a whole new question and answer here. Chris was saying that a lot of you, that the segment I did on the lymphatic system's lost. So I will do another one, and we'll call it just the lymphatic system, and I'll do another one here. Till then, hit my website, robertmorrisend.com, and I've been writing books for a while. I probably have 4 of them at home, sitting there. A lot of them are half written, but I was starting a whole new series, and the series was called the Illusion Called Disease series, because this illusion called diseases, this concept has to be eliminated if we want to grow. So I've got that half written, and so I put it on my website, a lot of it, so you could read about the lymph system, because this is so vital that one learns. Some of it is contraindicative to allopathic thinking. So what? Got to learn about the body's sewer system, how the sewer system works, and your sewer system works just like your home sewer system. Cells eliminate waste. Wastes are picked up by the septic system, the lymph fluids, which make up 75% of your interstitial fluids. These interstitial lymph fluids pick the waste, carry the waste to the lymph capillaries, from the lymph capillaries to the lymph vessels, from the lymph vessels to the body septic tanks, which are the lymph nodes. Those are full of bacteria, supposed to be, and immune cells. This is where you see the body take damaged or cancer cells to break them down. The lymph nodes are always going to be lymph nodes. They're always going to be doing their job. You don't remove them. You clean them out. The lymph nodes, of course, are going to break down waste, break these acids down from about 3 pH to about 6 pH before they hit the kidneys. And then it's off to the kidneys they go, or out the skin, which is the body's third kidney. But the kidneys are main players here. Your body does not reabsorb acids back into the blood system. That is not logical. That is not accurate. And you see it all the time. Every time you see the feet swelling, they blame the venous system. And they strip people's veins all the time. It doesn't do any good, because it's not the venous system. It is the lymph system, which is separate than the blood system. So hook onto that, and it'll give you a much more detailed look at that, and the two sides of chemistry. Hopefully be really helpful to you. I will shift and put that on video for you here. I do have it on video. I started out as it's on one of our first few videos somewhere. Chris said he can't even find it, so I said, oh no. So, you know, maybe things got messed up. I don't know. I've been chugging on down the road with you guys, so I apologize. I'll get it up as soon as I can, but that's a good hour video in and of itself of talking about the lymph system. Matter of fact, my appointments are generally 2-hour appointments initially, and you know, I'm generally covering the lymph system in a lot of that. So I want to continue, because we just shot a video, you'll see, and I want to keep on going down this line, because I've got a lot to catch up with you guys, and I've got about 20 minutes left here. We were talking about this chef and macrobiotic diets. I was talking about Portugal, and hi, Lucia. Hope you're doing well, honey, and never forget what you learned about healing, and go there and become a good healer there, because you just got caught up in a real negative thing here. But macrobiotics, take another step. I think macrobiotics is a better step than the SAD diet of America, but in terms of regenerating tissue, no way, Jose. I've been getting your answer test back from the DVD set. I got your Centrum, and I'm going to be working on it. I got about 3 right now to grade. I grade all of them myself, so I'm going to take it on I'm going to take them on my trip and grade them on my trip as much as I can. So I'll have them back to you as soon as I can, guys. Thank you, Kelly. Kelly, it sounds like you're grabbing this like nobody's business, and if you do, I'm proud of you, sweetheart, because knowledging up is really a good thing. It's the only thing you're going to do. Same thing with this POTS. Any type you see, any type of Brady, tachy, any type of a syndrome where you see a suppression or an agitation, or you see a hypo situation, or a Brady tachy situation, doesn't matter. It's always going to be at the core of acids or some kind of heavy metal or chemicals. Even neurotoxins can be at the core of these things. On top of that, you're always going to see the adrenal glands and the lymph system problems. You're always going to see this. Well, the adrenal glands, neurotransmitters, control the autonomic nervous system. Granted, we have a lot of steroids, we have a lot of neurotransmitters, so yes, you can see one syndrome over another syndrome, and yes, yes, yes. That's the illusion of the Supreme Being. Throw you out a million different symptoms, and medical doctors just got trapped into that. Can't get trapped into that, you got to go back to the one again. Go back to the one cause, and you'll do much better in fixing these things, because the fixing is the same, you know. And so that's why detoxification is the golden key to unlocking the mysteries of health and vitality, because it corrects all the reasons why we have problems. Everyone, including genetic memories that take cells weaker into or deeper into the world of decay and decline. It removes the toxins. It gets the cellular waste out of the body, which we would never see any of these things had we lived more Native American. But then I guess I like carpet on the floor. Thanks, Kelly. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Listen, when I see the fact that you're honking on, I am proud of you guys. Thanks for helping Kelly here. It sounds like she's honking on here. And whatever you run into, Kelly, don't let that stop you. Whatever symptom, don't think you're stepping back. Remember, sometimes these symptoms come back on you in detox. Don't let that stop you. Don't let anything stop you. You now are grabbing that bull by the horns. You're taking your body down that road. Because if you don't take your body down that road, nobody else will. I guarantee you. They'll be on the sidelines telling you what to do, including the medical community, but you must ride that ride, and you've been suffering too long, sweetheart. You need something? I love this comment on alfalfa. It really brings up the mucus. That's what I found too, especially if you get it really green. I mean to tell you, it really yanks on the mucus. I love the alfalfa plant. Forget wheatgrass. Alfalfa is the king. Always been considered the king of the greens. I don't know what happened to man. Got trapped into other thinking, but alfalfa is the power plant of the day. Good job on that, by the way. What ethnicity are you? I'm a little bit of everything. God-man, generally speaking. But Morris is French, Scotch-Irish, little Mennonite, heck, I don't know. We all come from, but Native American born. And I often think that people have to realize when you're born in this country, you're Native American no matter what you got running through you, physically. But it's hard for me to think in terms of physical. I don't know. Can you drink herbal teas during detox? Absolutely. Have at it. They're just going to help the picture there. Absolutely. You're a 35-year-old female. I do need to take essential fatty acids during detox. No, you don't have to, because all foods have some fatty acids in them. But if you want to take a omega-3, 6, and 9, okay, I like the 6 is better than the 3, so you don't need animal oils, but okay. All right, so if you want to take some omega-3, 6s, and 9s, okay, I would take the gamut of them. If you're going to take a vitamin E, I would take the gamma levels. I wouldn't take the alpha levels. Gamma levels and on, I even think now they have delta levels now, that they're a higher level vitamin E's, much more metabolizable, bioavailable, as they say. So, yeah, essential fatty acids, you could, but you can get them from your foods too. Bloody Mary. Whoo! Fruit Slammer. These herbs are really working magic. Aren't they good? A little strong, aren't they? I know. You've had the worst flu symptoms you can imagine. Sorry about that, man. I'm sneezing my brains out, coughing my lungs out. Sorry about that. Well, you can either slow down or speed up. Speeding up means you're going to just go all on fruit. And you could just go on Fruit Slammer. Woo! Tongue twister. Yeah, I mean, you could just take off the herbs, slow down on the herbs, and just really go into a fruit fast. That'll really kick you up another notch and help you out that way. Slow down a little bit in one way, and then really do the fruit fast. Skin rashes all over your body, yeah, you're kicking it. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't kidding about it. I thought these herbs were strong. These herbs are strong. I consider them one of the best in the world, in my opinion. But of course, I guess I'm a little biased. But I've tried a lot of herbs in a lot of herb companies just to see where they're at, and you see Fruit Slammer what it's doing to you. So slow up if you need to, man. Don't overdo it. Like I said, you can set the herbs aside and. But the eczema, psoriasis, yeah, these are acids. These are acids coming out your skin. Does show you, Fruit Slammer, that you're really not filtering from those kidneys like you should. You're kicking it up another notch, and it's like going out. But since the kidneys aren't doing it for you as good as they could, your skin's bearing the blood here, man. So you could slow up there. Sorry about that. You're probably going to get some insane itching, too. Means you have a lot of fungus in you. But keep going, and you'll come out of it. They have to dress up to go outside. Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, there's so many people. You guys are going to have the knowledge of the day. You're going to know things and see things so many people don't understand or know. And yeah, they're going to think you're weird. But you're going to have the end. You'll be on the end, man. You're riding it. You're riding the wave. You all are God people, man. On the cancer question, yeah, I've answered that about the injection of, and about the bread with little or no immune system. I know, and one thing is when you inject cells into the bloodstream, and I don't know if they're injecting into the bloodstream, I doubt it, probably into the lymph system, which could cause more acidosis in our mouths and maybe cause cancer that way. But I mean, for another cell, from a human cell to attach to a cell of a rat, in any of the tissues, and then somehow transfer its consciousness to that cell, making that cell think that it's a weak cell. I don't know what to say about that. I mean, there is the stem cell philosophies out there that seem to work and stuff like that. I just find that just highly ridiculous. But you can increase the awareness of a cell, because that's what you're doing in this health issue. You can increase the awareness of a cell, because that's what you're doing in this health issue. Another question about B12 there, RTDIOTI. Yeah, I mean, this is the problem with vitamin B12. You have a varied amount of opinions of foods that have it in it, foods that don't, and I just don't waste my time with that stupidity, because you never see a raw food is deficient in anything, especially when you move the lymph, get the adrenals up, kidneys filtering. Nobody's deficient, nobody has symptoms, nobody lacks vitality. Matter of fact, it's the opposite. You get your lymph system clean, your adrenals up, and everybody healthy, the energy is beyond what most people can handle. What's that? You have to do something to lose energy. Makes you give more. Supreme Being saying, you want to touch me, then I'm going to show you where you can't handle me, and you're going to have to give me a lot more so you can tolerate the higher me. Does that make sense? Lisa. I've already answered that. How come people get cured? Easy with the cured word. I think it's 2 or 3% past 10 years, maybe. But again, you're talking about George Burns people that don't have the lymph problems, and those people are dying off. So you're now entering a realm of the insane. Look at how many kids die. I mean, when you see the relationship and the actual figures, I mean, see the actual figures if you can find them. But I guarantee you, just look around, look at how many people you know, and I can tell you most of them die from this. I did talk about AFib and ablation. I will, again, I don't believe in cutting nerve tissue or suppressing nerve function. Get your lymph system moving in the body, which will get it moving in the heart. Any suppression of the sinus node, any hyperstimulation or hypostimulation or innervation of the sinus node, which is where the atrial spark comes from, the SA node, you'll make that healthy again. You'll start sparking all around the atrium and get that nervous system in focus. Again, you're going to bring up neurotransmitters to do that. You're going to bring up adrenal function. That's the autonomic nervous system again. You're going to remove any inflammation, acidosis, pressure, anything that would create a dysfunction of the nervous system. And you could actually go and use the brain and nerve to strengthen the nervous system, the neurons themselves. So you can do that. You can use circulation to increase blood flow into the heart. But remember, the lymph is always the causative factors of most of these problems, one way or another, and however you look at this. So the other one thing you want to always make sure of is thyroid, parathyroid. Not only in the heart rate in terms of thyroid, but in calcium utilization for nerve health. So you're always going to look at calcium utilization, which is parathyroid. You're going to look at varicose veins, spider veins, fingernails, hemorrhoids, prolapsus problems, wrinkled skins, anything that shows you connective tissue weakness, that's parathyroid. You're also going to get those adrenals up, get the kidneys filtering the lymph system. This will bring the acidosis out of the tissues of the heart, any hypertrophy or CHF, congestive heart failure, anything that's related to that that can create missparking of the nervous system. Bringing up the adrenals are going to bring up the neurotransmitters, and therefore you're going to strengthen the myelin sheaths, and you're going to make a healthy heart tissue, healthy nerve, healthy blood, healthy lymph. Remember, heart's just a bunch of cells divided up into 4 chambers with a valve in between each one, and you've got a nervous system that depolarizes that. And you've got blood and lymph that feeds the cells. So keep that in that simplicity, and you'll get yourself healthy again. I've got a great heart formula that will help in that way. When she eats cantaloupe for breakfast, lately afterwards she sneezes at least 14 times. Well, I mean, if it causes too much a bizarre response, you can get rid of cantaloupe. It could just be breaking up mucus and making you sneeze, because you notice sneezing is trying to break your sinuses loose. Nightshade fruits and veggies. You could, again, more about this microbiotic diet and stuff. I don't know about nightshades and their high uric acid contents. Natural fruits and vegetables, really, I mean, not a lot. I mean, you're going to have acids from all types of acids from fruits and vegetables, not just uric acid. Uric acids is more from more protein and more from fungus problems. I don't know that the nightshade has high uric acid outside of that. It's possible. Anyway, it doesn't matter what acid you're dealing with, you've got to be able to remove it. It is the inability to remove acids out of the body that is man's big issue. That's where all the inflammation, the pain, the swelling, and all this exists there. And by all means, when you're full of pain, like from fibromyalgia or from lupus or from Lyme's or from arthritis of all types, go on and on and on and on and on, then you want to stay away from as much acids, because acid on top of acid does give you initial pain, even though the food might be good for you. Let me see. This is one package in a thyroid individual. One would be a good place to start. This is from Raven. Let me see here. What is it? I want to start your herbal tonics, but I'm not sure where to start. Jump right in. We have a detox kit. Highly recommend that you use that kit initially, or something like that kit, because if you look at that kit, you'll see that I have a liver formula. I have 2 parasitic formulas, because I always deworm everybody first door out. Always want to do that. I get into the liver, I get into the GI tract, I get into the kidneys, and I get into the lymphatic system and the endocrine glands. That is, if you see why I did that, that's where one should always think about. You don't always have to kill parasites, and you don't always have to get into the liver, but you always have to get into the adrenals, you always have to get, or the endocrine glands, you always have to get into the kidneys, you always have to get into the lymph system and the GI tract. Fab 4 or Fab 5 minimally. And then you're going to get something done here. Rolling up the sleeves, doing the fruit, and going after those areas of the body, which is the prime center focus of the human body. You're going to get a lot of things done there. The finances are low. So, okay, so then you use your use the Heal All tea. And you could use some teas. Look at the individual herbs, buy some teas around where you are, and use the teas along with the foods there. You can send me your lab work and eyes, and I'll go over them, my friend. Thank you. Thank you a lot there. Just have time for a couple more here. The other rooms of God's mansion, so to speak. What do you think of creating your reality? I think that's all we ever do. I think that's the beauty of the Sugmad, is that it breaks itself off into untold amounts of individualized aspects of itself, and it creates. It's constantly creating unlimited amounts of experiences. And to get stagnant on creation, most people don't like stagnation. And yet there are some that just likes the redundancy of the same thing over and over again. Me, next, let's get on with it. So everybody's different in that road of development and wanting to experience life. But that's the beauty of God, is that it enjoys where it's at, and yet it doesn't. So, it's an ongoing, I'm creating my own reality sense. Yet, if you'll see that deja vu type symptom, this is why when you start developing beyond this world, you'll get to the astral world, you'll see all that's going to happen in this world that hasn't happened yet, and it just keeps on going, because we're just actors on a stage. The play's been written, but it's been written in the mental worlds, and you're writing that play, even though you are the supreme being in action, in the sense, and we'll get into that. Metabolize sugar well. It's better to fix that issue before doing a grape. No, it's not better to wait. It's funny, if you're having problems with digestion, still don't wait. If you're having problems with digestion, then you want to go to the fruit diet, because you still have to get that nutrition in. If you're having trouble with digestion pancreatically, then super chew, because you have amylase, you have the digestive enzymes mostly in the mouth that you do in the pancreas. And of course, you want to super chew your foods, because unlike omnivores, we do have the alkaline digestive enzymes like amylase in our mouth. So we do chew. You notice dogs just swallow. But dogs do love greens. My dogs always stopped along the road and started chewing on the greens, especially if I gave them too much protein. They love to chew on the greens, because everybody has to have some plant life. Even the carnivores go for the gut and eat on the pre-digested greens. And they go to the pre-digested greens because carnivores and omnivores don't digest carbohydrates in the mouth like we do. Another difference of why we're not omnivores. I mean, you could go on and make a long list of differences between Homo sapiens and omnivores. And so, we fit perfectly in the category of frugivores. Sad thing is we don't have access to good fruit. If I gave you a bill of fare of an incredible amount of fresh organic fruits and berries, you wouldn't have any desire to go anywhere else. You'd be just in ecstasy, enjoying the nirvanic experience of good, ripe, organically grown fruits. Metabolizing sugars well, that's more of an adrenal gland problem than a digestive problem, though, in that sense. And so I would definitely work on my adrenal glands if you're having a hard time metabolizing sugars. And if you're having a hard time metabolizing sugars, it's glucose that you're having a hard time metabolizing, because fructose doesn't need to be metabolized. It absorbs through a cell wall by diffusion. Glucose needs a carrier of insulin. So in all ways, fruit is far superior. And I'm going to cut off now. I don't know what undue numbers are in the botanicals. Life regenerator. Give me more on that, my man. I don't know what one you're identifying with there. UNDA numbers. I don't know what that is. Maybe I'm just not with it. But give me more on that, man. And I'll get that. Lion Man. One's true power lies in rising above the illusion and appreciating. Yeah, well, you always have to be beyond the illusion, and then you can go in and play and have fun and laugh while you blow up the bank, or whatever, or while you're making your government follow the law. You can have fun doing that. You don't have to be attached to it. Who cares? But in that, you're setting up the higher consciousness, or you could sit and wait till something else does it, but then why are you here? Why do you have a body here? All right, guys. Great. Lion Man, love you. You all take care of yourselves. Hugs and kisses to you all. Keep it up. I love your questions. We'll get deeper and deeper as we go, and I will promise you I will do a lymphatic video. But it has to be one of my first. It was the first video I did was on the lymph system. That was the very first video I did. So I would have a starting point, but I'll make another one. And remember, go to robertmorrisnd.com, and I have a whole, probably 2 or 3 chapters of my book on the lymphatic system and on the 2 sides of chemistry. Thank you so much. Great day. Bye-bye.